Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition of the On Air Daily News. I'm Naima Latif, and I am pleased to welcome our guest tonight, Dr. Olivier Kamanzi is chairman of the African Global Chamber of Commerce, and we had an opportunity to speak to him during the Rainbow Push International Convention recently held here in Chicago at the national headquarters. And this is a convention that attracts people from all over the world. But the main thing is that we are seeking to change the climate that exists so that we have a state of economic empowerment. Trade is the name of the game. And if you have a product, then you want the world to know if, in fact, that is your market. Well, there are many products and services that can be sold abroad and exchanged between those business owners who are here in the United States and those who are in countries over in Africa. How do we make the connection? Dr. Kamanzi tells us the strategy for connecting these businesses that have products, that have raw goods, that have skills, and we just need to put the dots together so that we can all circulate that money and we can make a difference in the way business is done. There's a lot of politics that goes into the trade business. We know that there have been a number of issues coming out of Washington, D.C. having to do with tariffs and supposedly encouraging people to do more domestic buying and domestic trade. But we also understand that there are power issues when it comes to who controls the resources of Africa. And we have seen a lot of conversations having to do with independence. Independence means being able to control one's own destiny, controlling one's own resources. Well, Dr. Kamanzi comes to us with a game plan, and we welcome him as one who has most certainly been in the game for a long time. Dr. Kamanzi is a capital markets and international financial sector development expert, inspirational speaker, and philanthropist. Dr. Kamanzi is the co-founder and chairman of the Africa Global Chamber of Commerce based in Chicago. Dr. Kamanzi is founder and CEO of Globrock Group, a holding of companies comprising of Globrock Financial, Globrock Trade, and Globrock Technologies. Dr. Kamanzi is a former deputy CEO of the Capital Market Authority of Rwanda and Rwanda Stock Exchange. With a background as a senior investment specialist at Citigroup, Citibank, and an executive employee at JP Morgan Chase. His expertise has left an indelible mark on the financial sector. So we want to welcome to our show today Dr. Olivier Kamanzi. As he prepares for his presentation at PUSH.
How long the organization has been around and how many countries are involved in the African Global Chamber of Commerce?
Thank you so much. African Global Chamber of Commerce, whose mission is to do the promote investments, trade, cultural exchanges, and education between the Africa and the global markets, including the United States. So the African Global Chamber of Commerce has been in operation since 2014, almost close to 12 years. We're based in Chicago, but we work globally. In Africa, we work in 47 countries.
Well, one of the things that we want to ask as potential trading partners is how we go about the process of discovering which countries have which products and many other issues that come about when, as Americans, we often know so little about the African continent. And this is something that we recognize, particularly because many of us have not traveled abroad. So this is a question that we're most definitely concerned about. We want to know more. We want to know what products are produced, and we want to understand what some of the politics are that are involved in this process. Now, of course, this is a challenge. Dr. Kamanzi is out on the scene and out and about, but we are going to make sure that we get that insight, because Dr. Kamanzi, as one who works globally, is able to connect people and places and products in a way that is effective. And this is what has been often missing in our business community. We're not understanding the process when it comes to trade and how to get those products on the shelves and who gets paid in the process. So we're going to take a quick break and come back with Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is CEO, Chairman of the African Global Chamber of Commerce, coming here to the United States with so many others who are about to do business and removing all barriers. So we'll be right back after this quick break, and we invite you to stick and stay, don't stray away, and feel free to put your questions and comments up on the screen, and we will acknowledge your thoughts and get you answers. We'll be right back after this quick break. So stay with us.
Great day. It's your girl Asada here to introduce a new female solution show called Asada Says. That's right. Every month, we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way Asada says it should be done. See you then. Peace, right here on the Female Solution.
Literacy is freedom, and we have a literacy crisis. Children should learn to read from pre-K to third grade. They should practice reading from fourth to sixth grade, and they should read to learn beginning in seventh grade and continuing through fourth grade. This video is sponsored by Rico Nance and Chemistry Steak and Brunch House in Hyde Park, Chicago.
Leaders of Nonprofits Empowering Worlds. Let's go.
But the vision that God gave me, I felt that it was time for me to step out and work on the vision that God gave me.
We need look no further. We have a unique voice. We have a unique talent pool.
The earth is in the process of transformation. A separation, such as when a cell divides. Half will remain in the third dimension, the old earth, where there is conflict and violence. The other half will ascend to the fifth dimension, the new earth, where no negativity can exist. All across the world, there are internet content creators that are sharing new information to raise your consciousness and prepare you to ascend to the new earth. Join me, Naima Latif, every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Time, and we will introduce to you these voices of enlightenment. We are back. You are watching the On-Air Daily News. I'm Naima Latif, and we have with us tonight Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is the chairman of the Africa Global Chamber of Commerce, and he's with us on our live line tonight as he prepares to continue to work with the Rainbow Push Coalition. And, you know, Rainbow Push established an international trade bureau some years ago, making those connections with African nations and other nations all over the world. Because one of the things that we realize is going to make a difference is how we spend our money. And that is going to have an impact, not just here, but abroad. So we definitely want to hear from Dr. Kamanzi and what the strategy is when it comes to making sure that those who are here in America understand their role in seeking out those businesses that are making a difference and seeking out those businesses that can provide some kind of product that is often bought and sold, because so many businesses are, in fact, striving to expand, but don't know how to make the connections. So tell us, what are the goals as you prepare to express the strategy for businesses all across the diaspora?
So we discuss business. We're going to discuss about the trend, the U.S. policy on what you call African Growth Opportunity Act, which is AGOA, which is a tariffs. This is a policy whereby the African product can enter U.S. market tariff-free, right? Or of customs, don't have to pay customs. So right now, the 32 countries are eligible to enter the U.S. market, bring the U.S. market to products. But we want to look at the broader level on the tariffs, trade tariffs. We have experts discuss about the trade, the tariff. We're looking about the U.S. foreign policy. We want to see all those when I highlight in Iran. What's the consequences of the war in Iran on business? We want our panelists to be discussing all those issues. So there could be so many new Cuba. We have Cuban sanctions. We invite people who will come to discuss those issues. Our key speaker, as I mentioned before, is the ambassador of Burundi to Washington, D.C. Also, we have people like ambassador of Colombia to come about Colombia in South America. What's going on?
Well, this is also, and we appreciate the fact that you're joining us, even though you are out near where some construction is going on. But we appreciate the fact that there are others who are making an effort to make those connections from other countries, and are definitely going to give us some insight, because we do realize that the whole tariff situation is affecting international business. So tell us a bit more about that and some of the things that you are intending to discuss as you meet with those who've gathered at the PUSH International Convention.
So also we invite the people who are going to come and they talk about in Haiti, like Judge Lionel Jean-Baptiste, who is the judge of Cook County, who is a Haitian origin, who will come to discuss all those issues. We'll be blessed, of course, we're blessed to have the President Forever Bush in the name of Yusuf Jackson, who will be opening remarks. Also, we have a special guest speaker, who will be the Congressman Jonathan Jackson of Illinois, the first district. So all those, we have a large panel of speakers. We really want everybody to come. We don't limit ourselves. We'll be coming to just come out. We want to hear all those foreign policy, U.S. foreign policies, how they impact the global community. Most importantly, here back home, how they affect the immigration. We have seen crackdown in the city of Chicago. What's happening in Chicago is having an impact back in South America. We discuss issues not just at local level, also at international level. Because we're discussing about international policy, mainly focus will be between the relationship between the U.S. and the other countries.
Well, when we take a look at the relationship between the United States and other countries, this is something that's greatly affecting or affected by the politics of America. Now, it changes year to year, and we do realize, especially because policies and attitudes changed once we changed presidents. And this is a reality whenever there is a change in the politics and there's a change in the policies of those who are elected. So unfortunately, we're not seeing the same level of camaraderie, concern, and respect that we would want to have for African nations. Tell us what you have observed.
From Africa and other countries like Iran, like Cuba, like Haiti, and the many other countries, especially when it comes to trade. So on the trade side, we are looking how is the tariff and impacted our local businesses who are importing the products from China, from Europe, from Africa. So we were going to have this discussion to look at the impact. What could be done? How can we influence this discussion?
Yes. How can we influence the discussion? Now, here we have the Africa Global Chamber of Commerce website, and one of the issues that comes up often are the impressions, perhaps the incorrect perceptions that Americans may have about African nations and the levels of development, the levels of proficiency in creating products. So we're taking a look at the website here, the African Global Chamber of Commerce website. And it says the African Global Chamber of Commerce, AGCC, was established by African leaders living in the diaspora and incorporated in the state of Illinois in April 2014. The chamber is led by a visionary board of directors and managed by a competent team. So some of the programs, as you can see, are extensive in providing some of the things that we know are necessary. There's an African Trade Center program, an Access to Capital program, African Cross-Cultural Language program, very important. The African Small Business Expo program, the Agribusiness program, the ICT and Mobile Money Payment program, Energy and Gas program, Health program, Tech Thursday program, Infrastructure program, Youth and Women Entrepreneur program, and U.S. Africa Youth Entrepreneurship Summit. So these are some of the things that we can look forward to when we interact with the African Global Chamber of Commerce. And many African businesses have outlets here in America, and we've interviewed some of them on the On-Air Daily News. In the On-Air Daily News, we've reported some of those very powerful companies that are doing business. And we've also learned some things that are important for us to know when we get ready to take our business global. These days, it's just a matter of a touch of a button. Well, we're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about some more of the programs that are offered by the African Global Chamber of Commerce and how you may be able to get involved as a business person. You may choose to become a member, and you may choose to begin doing business by selling your products, because that's what it's all about, trade. So we'll be right back after this next break, and we want you all to stick and stay. Don't stray away. You're watching the On-Air Daily News Hour. I'm Naima Latif, and our guest tonight on our live line is Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is chairman of the African Global Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be right back. So we want you to stay with us.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
Because my little brother, in which we're doing this documentary for, Douglas Robinson, your death will not be in vain.
He was a heck of a great dude. And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill.
And welcome back. I'm Naima Latif, and you're watching the On Air Daily News Hour. And our guest on our live line today is Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is chairman of the African Global Chamber of Commerce. And he was kind enough to grant us this interview, even though he's out and about. And of course, we appreciate him giving us this opportunity to understand a bit about what kind of products that may be available, especially because we don't always know which countries produce what. So maybe you can give us a bit of insight about that. And for those who have stores, shops, places that are retail, it may make a lot of sense for us to get to know our African neighbors so that we can most certainly do business. So, what countries are offering products that we may look to add to the marketplace?
Africa and other countries like Iran, like Cuba, like Guinea, and many other countries, especially when it comes to trade. So on the trade side, we are looking how is the currency and the factors.
Well, one of the things that we certainly do appreciate is the fact that we've got a lot of African countries that have done well in terms of being able to take back control of their products.
Her chocolate for her cakes, her baking factory.
Yes, we did a wonderful program with someone who was doing business and had an opportunity to make some connections with an African country. And we most certainly do want to give people a chance to get to know where they may be able to do business.
To live longer, because it has ingredients, it has biomes, the gaps that protect your immune systems. That green banana is going to be coming to Chicago, exported. You can use the flour, the banana flour, for all those as an ingredient for all those what we do eat. Everything you consume every day, you can include that flour to produce whatever you need, right? So you can also actually yourself cook like banana flour, right? Also, you can have a banana itself, fresh banana. You can eat a fresh banana. It's really good. It's good for the health. It's good for the immune system. So this banana is going to come very soon. We're in the process. We have a warehouse here in Chicago. We're going to be receiving all these products. Actually, the products are coming right now. We start with coffee, we start with teas, we start with nuts, and then we are also bringing pineapples. Fresh pineapples. Also, we're doing dried fruits and dried vegetables, right? Dried fruits, we can have a dried mango, have a dried pineapples. We can all dried fruits, can dry them and then be able to consume.
Well, now that is a blessing to know that dried fruits are able to be exported, because we do want to be able to export. And there are questions when it comes to, well, are fruits being grown in a way where there's no GMOs? You know, they are wholesome, non-pesticides. So all of these things are concerns, but we do realize that there are other issues when it comes to packaging. So being able to dry fruits and keep them preserved without artificial preservatives is important for many consumers. So this is definitely an education when it comes to what it is involved in shipping products internationally. So many times we don't know how to ship products, what it takes. And these are some of the things that we can learn perhaps as members of the Chamber of Commerce, the African Global Chamber of Commerce, that gives us insight on how we can go about becoming international business people.
Right? There is no GMOs. Everything's organic. Everything is gluten-free. What you say, gluten-free? Gluten is a biome, is have a gut, is protects your health. It has ingredients that will increase the immune systems. You live happily, you live longer. That's our goal.
That is fabulous. Now, I know that.
And I know that there are some issues when it comes to how you're going to determine the conditions of your product once they arrive.
I know that there are some entrepreneurs who are looking to do business with African countries, and they have things to sell. Are there products that might be sold on the continent that we could export? And would you also handle the exporting process?
This is an excellent question. I really appreciate that. There are many, especially in our African American community, right? Or African diaspora at large, who think like importing or even exporting. Because they're in business here, we want you to take advantage of both way trade. You can export what you are doing, whether you're exporting services, technology, know-how, equipment, all these things, and the import on your way. You can export what you're doing and import back the product. So many of our business people or community, they are complaining about access to funding, right? This is number one concern, access to funding. Second is about access to training, right? When I talk about training, I mean like, how do you go through export documentation? It's difficult if you don't have a knowledge. Even if you have the money, you don't have a knowledge. There is a capacity building. What Africa Global Chamber of Commerce will provide for? To provide the funding, we help you to access the funding. At the same time, build the capacity of your business so that you get ready to export and import your product. I really advise you don't do one way, do two ways. If you are in a technology, in IT, maybe you are you design a website or design something, AI technology, all kinds of stuff, you can export to Africa. Many people need what you are doing in your community. Yeah, we can help you to come to the chamber, we help you to connect with the local buyers of your product or takers, and then in the exchange, you bring back what you can sell to the US market. So I'm really calling, especially the small businesses, they're struggling to say, I cannot export. They're really focused on the local market. I can't tell you can't just focus on the local market. Really money is outside of the US. That's where you make more money. If you focus on the market here, likely you make 5 to 10% return on your investment. But if you do export, import, your income, your revenue will increase. Also, the return on your revenue will go higher, which means I can tell you somewhere between 40, maybe, and 40% and above. Many of people I know, they make 60% of the time. Yes, you will say, oh, this is too much, let's say, expectation, also optimistic. I'm very cautious on these numbers. I do business myself. I do export import myself. I can't preach what I not do. But I can tell you when you take risks, get more return. And also you can calculate your risks. That's why you have an insurance policy. The US small businesses receive the guarantees. Before you go to business outside the US, you have like a US import-export bank, which provide you a guarantees. So you don't lose your money. To that guarantees, I cannot assure you're not going to have some challenges. Yet there will be challenges when you do international businesses. But you have to mitigate your risks. The way you do it, you have to have export-import guarantees. The U.S. government provides those guarantees. Also, private sector also provide the guarantees. A national government, because you are trading between nations, the government of a U.S. government puts in place some of services, some of resources We need to access those resources. You don't have to go somewhere to look for those resources. That's why Africa Global Chamber of Commerce work with the U.S. government. We work with the SBA. The SBA provides Small Business Administration, provide those guarantees. US Exim Bank also provide those guarantees. There are other, like USDA, there's so many of the government agencies that provide the guarantees. They can help you. So we are here to work with you. Work with you to can have really, you start thinking about, hey, how can I export what I do to Africa? How can I import back from Africa? So the chamber is a one-stop center. When you come to us, we provide the resources you need, both domestically and internationally. So you can be equipped to what you need to help you. That's why we found the chamber to make sure you want to do business with your motherland. Let's say if you're an African American, you want to do business back home where you come from. Yes, it's possible. That's why we are here as a chamber to facilitate. When you're diaspora, you want to do business with Africa, you can do it. Also, we're not limiting on ourselves. Also, we expand with other communities, Caucasians, Latino, and the many others who want to do business with Africa. Again, our main focus is business for Africa. That's what we do. It's our own main focus. In Africa and the Africa outside, it can be in the US, can be globally. So we welcome you. Even if you want to do business Brazil, we can help you. If you want to do business China, we can help you. If you want to do business outside of the US, it's not just for Africa, we can help you as well. Because we have representatives in those markets.
Yes. So that gives us an opportunity then to think not just African nations, but Brazil and other South American countries. And we do want to expand our own reach for those who are looking at some possibilities, because we do travel and every place is just a plane ride away. So when we come back, we're going to take our last break. And when we come back, we'll talk about some of the things that are involved in the decisions to perhaps relocate, to get more information about a country where we may wish to have a long range relationship, and even some of the steps that it takes to research and find out what is produced in various countries that may accentuate something that we're doing here in America. How can we promote fair exchange? How can we promote fair trade? How can we promote trust? And can we best utilize the internet as a way to communicate when we can't always physically travel to where we want to negotiate with a trading partner? Well, we'll be right back after this last break, and we, as always, invite you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We are talking to Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is chairman of the African Global Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be right back after this break. So we want you all to simply stay with us.
Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to take a breath. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to have a rest. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to do his best. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to ace his test. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to trust himself. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to choose good food. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to see his best. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool. Mommy teaches the young ninja.
We are back, and you are watching On Air Daily News. And we are so pleased to bring you on the On Air Daily News Hour Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is chairman of the Africa Global Chamber of Commerce. And the Africa Global Chamber of Commerce offers much to those who are considering international business, especially because the world is our marketplace, and we need not be afraid to go beyond our borders when it comes to business. Too often we see ourselves as small, when in fact, it's a very simple thing to go abroad, a very simple thing to learn about our neighbors, whatever country they may be in. And many of us have not yet left the country, so we don't always appreciate what's out there. So Dr. Kamanzi is giving us some insight, and we're excited to be able to share with you, those of you who are desiring to go beyond your limitations and go beyond where you may have never traveled. What is the go where no one has gone before? Well, many have gone to Africa. Many have gone through the process of unlearning some of those incorrect images, and we most certainly want to encourage that. The African Global Chamber of Commerce, as you see, offers many services: business mentorship services, business training, certification services. And these are things that many business owners do need, because not everybody who goes into business has had formal training. They may just have a product or an idea. So this is the website, usagcc.org. You can go to the website and take advantage of some of these services, such as the business training certification services, the company's verification services, international import export workshop services, market research services, policy and advocacy programs services, business assistance and consulting, and trade mission services. So these are things that a business person is going to need if they are serious about getting into business. So, Dr. Kamanzi, we want to take a look at maybe some of the things that the African Global Chamber of Commerce offers, especially because this is a time for us to expand. And many of us who have not ever left the country, perhaps this is a time for us to consider and get over whatever fears that we have that have kept us thinking small. So what are your beliefs on that?
I believe on looking forward, how can forge our relationships become one? I'm really also inviting our brothers and sisters to think hard. Those who have never been in the continent, we have a program whereby we take a diaspora, African American, Afro-Latino, Afro-Caribbean. We go to visit Africa. If you want to visit, if you want to do business, you're never been, we have a program. If you call me, you contact me, I can talk more about the program to connect us.
Well, that being said, last question. How can people contact you? What's the phone number, website, and do you have any trade excursions to any countries upcoming?
Yes, we have so much going on right now. If you want to contact us, you can call our phone number. It's 312-684-4412. Again, 312-684-4412. Or you can email us on info@african with N gcc.org or Africa N George Charlie.org. You can email to us. Now, upcoming events, we have so much going on. Now, we have a trade missions coming up. We have a trade mission going to Zambia. It's happening on December 8th through December 13th to Zambia. We have another trade mission to Burundi from December 13th through December 17th.
Well, now that is something that we may want to consider promoting, and we're going to make sure that we put that in our on-air daily news. Our on-air daily news on the international page. You can go to onair.dailynews.com and read about the African Global Chamber of Commerce. And we want to make sure that we give you that phone number again, that you can reach out to Dr. Kamanzi at 312-684-4412. And also check out the website. That's right there. You can go to usagcc.org and make sure you get involved and go on the website and get your membership so we can stay in touch. We can continue to network, and we continue to learn more about what it takes to do business globally. And Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is chairman of the African Global Chamber of Commerce, is certainly making it possible for us to see beyond our borders. So we want to thank you for joining us today on the on-air Daily News Hour. And I'm Naima Latif. And come on back tomorrow for Mushabs and Master Force training. So we want to make sure that you master everything you intend to tackle. So until tomorrow, continue to shine your light. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad.
Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.